hitting almost a dive play, except a little deli action. It's been a little soft. We'll see.
All right. Dorian Glenn is the man on the carry, and again it works. Touchdown for the East. How about that? These coaches getting down in close are pretty good.
And John Perry likes that.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That wouldn't be it.
You got to like that.
I do. Broke it.
Well, what he did was he broke behind John Seapot, the big tight end, number 88. He's 6'8", 270 pounds. When you got a big tight end that can block the corner like this, watch the left side of your screen. You're going to see the corner one there. You see Seapot making contact, and Dorian Glenn gets his second rushing touchdown of the evening.
He's been the man when they've needed to carry it. Here's the extra point, and Cerniak hits it, and we got a timeout with 1:52 to go in the first half. It's the East 21, the West 10. West 21-10 with 1:52 to go in the first half. Here's how that last play worked.
Well, John Perry actually calls a belly play, which is going to go inside. But watch your big tight end. He gets the block here, and Dorian Glenn breaks it to the outside because he sees the block. Good job, good execution. Hey, just take what the defense gives you, and, hey, read your blocks. The big tight end gets some contact there, and got enough speed to the corner and makes it look very easy for the East.
John Seapot is a big tight end, too, 6'8", 270. I mean, that's an extra tackle is what that is.
Yeah, but he catches the ball, too.
Yes, he does.
He qualifies as a tight end.
Well, that's what he's playing. Here's the kickoff. It comes up short. And making the move outside is Eric Totten. Totten tries to cut back at the 40. Runs into his own block and goes out at about the 43-yard line, where the West will put the ball in play, down by a score right now of 21-10. The West has dominated this series. It began as the Snow Bowl and has been played as the Cactus Bowl, the Whataburger Cactus Bowl, the last 2 years. Last year's game was a 33-33 tie. But prior to that, the West had won 4 straight and had won all but one of the games, which was begun in 1994. The East won in 1996, 10-7. But the East is trying to turn things around here. They have dominated on the scoreboard, if not statistically, here in the first half. Steve Kelly is the quarterback for the West. Ball is knocked out of the intended receiver's hands. A good hit there by Michael Posey. And it's incomplete.
Well, Kendrick Gibson had that ball in his hands. He's got to come down with it. Posey just does what he's supposed to and break up on the football, and he knocks it away, doing a good job breaking up from the cornerback spot.
Now Kelly will have a second down. Minute 38 to go in the first half. This is the Whataburger Cactus Bowl, Game 2 from Kingsville, Texas. A storied football field. So many guys come through this school. That ball's incomplete. It was intended out on the near side and couldn't pull it in. There was Matt Holman. Gerald Brown was nearby, but the pass was a little bit too far and trying. When this school began, it was Texas A&I. And you remember Texas A&I if you followed football for a long time, and then in recent years it became part of the Texas A&M system. It's Texas A&M Kingsville now, but it's the same school, and there have been some great players that have performed on this field, Avalina Stadium. 3rd down and 10. Give on the inside to Damian Everett. Everett will gain short yardage, actually maybe back to the line of scrimmage, not much more. Chad Oberholzer again was one of the defenders that had a lot to do with bringing him down. It's 4th down now, so the West gets nothing going here with 1:15 and the clock ticking.
It looks like not a big play, but Chad Oberholzer does a nice job there coming off. Running back had some room to run with, but Oberholzer tracked him down from his defensive tackle spot. Makes a nice play at the line of scrimmage.
That's one of those things those scouts are watching, too. They see the big interior lineman who can get that far across the field, the line of scrimmage, and make a play. That's saying something when you weigh about 275 pounds. Here's the punt. And it's taken by Posey, and Posey will try to cut upfield. He's going to come back to the 30, to the 40-yard line, and across the 44-yard line, and the flag down possibly got an inadvertent face mask. 37 yards on the punt. The flag, I think, was on the tackle, though. Here will be the official call. Face mask, probably inadvertent. This will be a short penalty. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, at the end of the play here, you see the
It's a kicker.
inadvertent. Yeah, hey, kicker's going to make tackles too sometimes.
Yeah, but notice how he took it off. He realized what he was doing, and then he took it off. He said, uh-oh. Too late, they saw it. Ray Felt. So it's a first down at the 49-yard line. 37 seconds remaining in the first half. East is already on top. Well, it's a passing game to his bench. Brian Stallworth is in. Why not just air a couple out before the half? Kent Schoolfield is in motion, number 21. That's what he's doing. Well, that big hole up the middle to the 40. He is at the 35-30, and he's tackled before he gets out of bounds. Clock says 27 seconds. It's a first down, though, and so he'll have to move the chains. Once again, the hole up the middle.
Well, everybody's covered man coverage, Greg, and that's what happens here. Everyone's covered well downfield, and Craig Newhouse does what he needs to do. He sees the big opening here across the field. Oh, watch that. I tell you, and over goes outside Craig Newhouse, and watch the missed tackle here, number 5. I'm sorry, Craig Newhouse misses a tackle, and Stallworth running the football.
However, a procedure violation, and so the penalty is going to be against the East, and that may change everything with 27 seconds left.
That was about as safe as play as you could run there with Craig Newhouse, and instead of throwing the football down the field.
So it's 1st and 15. Stallworth trying to get some instruction as to what he wants to do. Dorian Glenn comes in with a play. And now the wideouts, Clarence Coleman on the top of the screen, along with Jason Durkin. On this side, he's got his man Humphries in motion to Schoolfield. Ryan Stallworth goes to the right, wide open. And a catch is successful by Kent Schoolfield Jr. from Jacksonville, Florida, Fort Valley State. But the time is out because that was the last play of the half. Clock expired on that catch. It was a nice catch, and this will be memorialized as the final play of the first half. And the first catch for Schoolfield. Let's go down to Jim Knox with the situation here at halftime. 21-10 in favor of the East. He's down on the sideline. Jim?
Coach, you got to be excited about the things going on right now. East Club all capitalizing early on the turnover. Then all of a sudden you get a punt return, and the offense is starting to pick up late in the first half.
Offense starting to pick up a little bit. We've capitalized on mistakes on their team and exploited some things we did defensively, but they got the one big turnaround play on a penalty when it would have been 3rd and about 20 and got a drive going, but we answered right back, and that is very important drive in this football game.
Now, real quick, Coach, last year you were standing on the sidelines. Your team was down 30-12 at halftime, and you remember what happened, that you guys came back, tied the game 33-all. That's the way it ended. Are you going to tell your team this at halftime?
Absolutely. No question about it. Fatigue is also a big factor in a game like this. Don't have a lot of subs. It told on our defense. At one point right there, we were huffing and puffing. So got to get in here and get them a little rest and get them ready.
Go get them, Coach. Thank you very much. Coming up, halftime festivities of the Whataburger Cactus Bowl right after this quick timeout. Stay with us. Welcome back to Kingsville, Texas. Halftime at the 2002 Whataburger Cactus Bowl. And right now, the East leading the West 21-10. And hi again, everyone. I am Jim Knox, and we're in the thick of things right out here. That's right, the H.M. King High School Marching Brahma Band out on the field performing. Already played one song, and all of a sudden we got action going on here. I tell you what, one thing about this band, Rolando Molino has been directing this band for 32 years, and this band is one of the best in the state of Texas. 250 strong out here, and these girls and guys putting on quite a show. Right now, let's listen in to this evening's action. Whataburger Cactus Bowl 21-10. And welcome back, everyone, to Kingsville, Texas. Jim Knox, and now joining me, Bill Moore, one of the directors of Whataburger. And Whataburger, of course, the title sponsor of the game. And how did Whataburger get involved in the Cactus Bowl, Bill?
That's right, Jim. Our Whataburger restaurant here in Kingsville opened in 1953. And the Kingsville community and Whataburger have been great partners for the last 49 years. So when the leadership of Kingsville came to us and told us what they were going to do and thought it would be a good thing for the community, we jumped at the chance to be a part of it and support the Kingsville area. We think it's great for the university and the city, and we're just glad to be part of it.
Tell you what, last year, the first time you guys sponsored the event, it was really cold here in Kingsville, wind whipping around, and you still drew a crowd of 13,500. Tonight, a bigger crowd. You really have to be pleased. It seems like it's getting bigger and better each year.
I think so, Jim. You hit the nail on the head there. It's a great crowd, a good game, 21-10 so far. Looking for a good game the rest of the second half.
Something that people may not realize out there, this could be a trivia question someday. That is, Whataburger originated in a town, let's say about 45 miles from here.
Right. The Corpus Christi, 1950. That's correct.
1950, and so far the game, East leading the West 21-10, but we recall what happened last year. Bill, you were at this game, and at the halftime, West leading the East 30-12, but what happened, East came back and ended in a 33 all tie. So we're getting excellent football games out of these guys.
Right. I don't think there's going to be a tie this year. Coach Arms had mentioned that there is a tiebreaker in place in these games and in the future, but that was a super ending last year to a great game.
Yes, it was. All right, Bill, appreciate the time and enjoy the rest of the game. Up next, Greg will recap first half highlights right after this quick timeout.
Back we are at Javelina Stadium, the East All-Stars with a 21-10 lead over the West in the second Whataburger Cactus Bowl. And the second game played here in Kingsville, and it's been an interesting first half because early in the game, the West had all the statistics, but the East had all the points, and they still do have more points.
The West didn't capitalize early in the football game, but the East did. They put points on the board. Turnover early allowed them to get their first touchdown, and we'll see that. But things really just haven't gone real well for the West. Got 30 minutes of football left here. This game is wide open. It's designed to be that way. They're going to throw the ball around a lot. And maybe one of these backs may even break a big run.
The irony of it is that as we take a look at some of the highlights, scoring plays mostly have been on the ground, even though that really hasn't been the big story. This is Dorian Glenn.
Well, then you got here the little tipped punt. There comes through, and then Clarence does a nice job here returning Clarence Coleman all the way to the house for the score for the East team. Brings in their second score of the game.
That made it 14-3 after a field goal. And then another one. This is another running touch. This is actually a pass play.
Yeah, it's a good job that time by the West coming back, and that's Eric Spencer getting the touchdown, and then the second run on the ground here by Dorian Glenn, the second of the game.
A couple of short touchdowns for Glenn and the one pass play. The interesting thing, and this is one reason, if you haven't been with us all night, stay with us, because we're covering this game a lot differently than you will see on a regular game, because it's an all-star game. We've got Jim Knox down on the sideline, and those last two touchdowns you saw, we knew they were coming because he had a chance to chat with both the offensive coordinators, and by golly, it looked pretty good too. And by the way, offensive coordinators of the world, let those sideline guys talk to you, because obviously there's no jinxing. They scored twice.
Oh, they did. Hey, Jim did the right thing, got in there, got the call. We even drew it on the screen, and hey, it worked. It's fun to do. It's a good game. These guys are all out here displaying their talents, and they want to display those talents to the scouts that are here. They've been here all week, and it's been a good way to end this week. A lot of preparations going into this. These guys are laying it out there tonight.
One thing about playing on an all-star game, whatever the sport is you usually have small rosters, which means everyone gets to play. That's great, except, as the coach pointed out just at halftime, John Perry said, fatigue may become a factor.
Well, a lot of these guys haven't played since their college season ended, and that's back in November, and these guys have been off. Now here we are in January playing football. Hey, they went through two-a-days early in this week, Greg, and their legs may still be a little bit stiff, and then you go for a whole 60 minutes in a football game where you're going out there 110% every play. It can be a little bit tiring.
That's a good point, because when they were talking to the scouts, they were going all out when they were being timed, and so they might be a little bit stiff. We'll see, but we expect an exciting second half as the Shriners move past. It's 21-10, the East over the West here in Kingsville. That is brought to you by AEP, American Electric Power. By the Kingsville Convention and Visitors Bureau on the web at kingsvilletexas.com. by Coca-Cola. Kick your party up a notch with refreshing ice-down Coca-Cola. And by the Kingsville Chamber of Commerce. Kingsville, a place to call home. Let's quickly go down to Jim Mox as the East leads the West. How's the West going to come back, Jim?
That's a good question. We'll ask right now. Coach, what are you going to look forward to doing here in the second half? What'd you tell the team at half down 21-10?
Well, we didn't get any breaks the first half, so if everything falls in place, well, we'll get our breaks this half. But, block punt really hurt us. 12 men on the field hurt us. We've had some dumb things that we've done out there, but overall we've played really good. They've had a 50-yard drive, a 3-yard drive for touchdowns, and that block punt that the guy ran back. So they've made big plays when they had their opportunities, and it's time for us to make some big plays in the second half.
You remember what happened last year, don't you?
I do. It's going to be exciting in the fourth quarter. Don't go away.
There we go. Best of luck, Coach. Correct?
Thanks a lot. Let's quickly point out that was Don Carthel. He's the defensive head coach. The offensive head coach is Eddie Vowell. The defensive head coach for the East is Bob Strock, and the offensive head coach John Perry. They don't really have true head coaches in this. Some are more spokesman-y than others, but that's really how they're set up. Let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Coca-Cola. Statistically, of course, we know the scoreboard, first of all, 21-10. And this is the number we were talking about before. Total yards go to the West. Time of possession goes to the West. But the points are what counts.
Well, you got the points off turnovers early in the football game. And you got the fumble there, and they allowed the 7 points early in the football game. And then you got the big punt return play, which sets up another score. The East has done very well, just doing a good job of converting those opportunities, and that's what you have to do. A couple of nice fans here at Javelina Stadium enjoying some time here.
Apparently it must be warm.
Warm down there. They might have a heater. I don't know.
No, it's actually very nice, especially great for football and football players. That'll help, if anything, the fact that they've got fatigue being a factor, the fact that it's cool for them down there, that really makes a big difference. You know, we mentioned the Harlan Hill Trophy and the finalists that we had here. Now, the winner this year was Valdosta State quarterback Dusty Bonner. In fact, it's the second time he had won it. Johnny Bailey, who played at Texas A&I, won it 3 times. And, of course, he had a bit of a career with the NFL, the Bears primarily. But the Harlan Hill Trophy goes each year to the NCAA Division II College Football Player of the Year. And it is the Division II version of the Heisman. It is quite an honor. Harlan Hill was an outstanding receiver. In fact, played a great deal in the National Football League after his college career in what is now Division II. So that's quite the honor. And when we mentioned that trophy, that's what it's all about. And just to be a finalist, to be one of those as a potential winner is quite an honor.
Real pleasing here, Greg, to see this crowd that's come out for this football game. Not only the local crowd here, but a lot of these players' families and parents have traveled long distances to come to this game and be supportive of their young men here, their sons, and playing in this football game. See a lot of banners around the stadium. Hey, they're out in force and they're out here trying to support these young men. And these guys are all looking for an opportunity beyond this game. A lot of these guys know that this may be the very last football game that they play in their career, and this may be the last 30 minutes that's coming up in their football career. But a lot of them want to try to continue that opportunity with a professional football team.
Cameron Paterka will be kicking off as we get set to go in the second half. The green is the West. They are down 21-10. As the second half is only seconds away from getting underway. Don't forget, stick around, 10 o'clock. It'll be the Southwest Sports Report. Some of the highlights from around the region will be focused upon as we are underway. Stephon Kelly with the kick. And check that. That was number 20, Gerald Brown, with a kick, but he is brought down and a very short return. A reminder also, something else that happens on Fox Sports Net on a daily basis is the best damn sports show, period. It is on weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30. The mix of sports, comedy, controversy, and just some gentlemen having a lot of fun. It's weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30 on Fox Sports Net. The best damn sports show, period. It is now a first down for the East. Putting the ball in play from about their own 17-yard line. And the quick handoff goes to Emir Dew. Hughes stays on his feet, keeps moving, and finally is never really brought down, but knocked out of bounds. After a pickup of just about all needed. Tyrese White, who prefers to be known as T.J. White, and henceforth will be, was the man who drove him out of bounds.
Dude does a good job here, breaks the tackle inside there, continues to the outside, and picks up a pretty good gain there, gets about 9 yards on the play.
A little bit of help there at the end by Anthony Donald, and he was pretty close to getting his hand up there in the wrong spot. It's almost enough for a first down. It's second down and less than 1. The quarterback is Todd Cunningham. And the handoff goes to Marquise Glaze. Glaze slides outside, and that's going to be close. Not much on that gain as he tried to go to the right side.
Well, Travis O'Neal does from his linebacker spot. Watch him get inside here. Young linebacker just reads it inside and fills the gap very well, gets in the backfield and makes a nice play in the backfield.
Yeah.
Hey, when linebackers play like that, Greg, I tell you, they're showing people their ability to play downhill, make plays like that. He's 6'1", 245. He's got 4.7 speed in the 40. National championship team from North Dakota. He's got some pedigree there. That linebacker can play.
Like Paterka, he played for the big one, and they won it. Travis O'Neal. It was enough for a first down, just barely, so it's a first down and 10. Off the 32. There's another inside hit during Glenn, and Glenn gets across the 30-yard line. Dorian out of Slippery Rock. O'Neal making the tackle.
Well, if the East can run the football like this, it takes the pressure off the quarterback and receivers who've been running quite a bit tonight. They're going to be running some more because this game is really set up for a passing game, and the way the rules are set up and the way that the teams are pretty much balanced. You're only going to have one back in the backfield as per the rules, and not going to have two of them in there, so you're not going to have any combo blocks or lead blocks by a running back. They could motion their tight end, but we haven't seen any of that tonight.
Second down and 9. Cunningham is sacked. Tremaine Bingham, a biblical studies major from Ouachita Baptist out of Humble, Texas, got loose. And that had to be started by good coverage because he had some time.
Well, good job here. Just continue to the quarterback, and when you get back there, just do something. Make a play. Makes a big play. Tremaine Bingham does. His wife, Rachel, she's pregnant. They're looking for their first child. She's got to be very happy about her husband and how he's performing tonight. Good job by the big man on the outside.
That's the Baptist out of Humble, Texas. And it's a third down. 19. Incomplete. The nearest intended receiver was D.J. Humphreys. And it'll be fourth down. The East will have to punt. There's Cunningham. He's had a pretty good game, although he had a tough series here.
He's throwing the ball on time outside. Get his big tight end receiver that he throws to quite a bit, a couple of times here. Cunningham is one of those guys that zip, zip, zip. Don't have to throw it down the field very far to be effective. Just throw it to the right guy.
Adam Hostetter is back to punt. But he won't. The ball goes in and through the end zone for 2 points. It's a safety. Well, that's 2 quick points, making it 21-12. As the snap was a bit high.
Well, these guys not all. Now, you have to be as tall as that wide receiver out there to jump up and get that one. So that's pretty tough to handle by a punter, but nonetheless, these guys aren't necessarily the snappers and the guys that do this in the football game regularly, so this is something new for all of them.
So 2 points go, 21-12, and we'll take a break and be back. The safety, the free kick, it has been decided by the East. It will be a punt, so Hostetter will. He's trying to get it straight as to which his restraining line is. It is up. It is high. And LeJuan Edwards will take it at about the 19-yard line. Edwards has some room as he gets across the 40 to maybe the 42 or 3-yard line. Good field position. Mustafa with the tackle. And so the West will put the ball in play. But speaking about putting the ball in play, how about Sunday night basketball action right here from the ACC? And how about this big one? Big rivals. Number 2 Duke will take on North Carolina State. It's ACC Sunday Hoops. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. ACC basketball every Sunday here on Fox Sports Net. Kelly will come out to start this series, the quarterback for the West. His team now down by 9. First pass is in the air and completes to Holman. The Holman gets up to midfield. Michael Posey with the tackle.
I think that's the first ball that Matt has caught tonight. Matt Holman from Augustana. Come out and get your offense going. Do a good little feel-good play that time. Get your receiver out in space, and quarterback delivers on timing. That's all the West needs to do is get a little rhythm going and move the ball down the field and then execute when they get in there in the scoring zone.
Augustana, where he played, good academic record. His major was government international affairs. It's a first down, or a second down and about 3 at midfield. And now a first down on the carry. Strong move for Rennick, who has not carried the ball much since the first period, but he gets a first down here. Coggins and Beckett bring him down.
Well, Rennick shows that he's got ability to see the hole. Watch him here. He comes inside. The linebacker's tracking. Watch number 55, Sonic, come underneath there. He says, I can't make this play because Rennick just goes to the outside.
I like the way he went under that last attempt. He is kind of hard to find. I think that shot showed it from behind the defensive line at about 5'8", and then he ducks over. You're not sure where he is.
Yeah, there's some help there. I mean, some advantage to being short sometimes. When you're in a big crowd, you can't find it.
First down, 10. Ball is lobbed out into the crowd. It's intercepted. Picked off there and being run back by Nate Coggins. And finally brought down at about the 36-yard line. That pass was intended for Eric Spencer, but wasn't really anywhere close to him, and Coggins was able to pick it up and end that potential drive.
Well, this Kelly throws it out. He doesn't expect the safety to come over, but Nate Coggins is playing safety. He pumps away, but Coggins is playing half the field. He's got the help on top here. Good job of just waiting for the football and making a play. And, hey, that's an easy interception, and the ball turned over to the east. Take a look here. You got the safeties back in the middle of half the field, and you got man coverage underneath, and he's just going to throw it over the top. The safety's just going to break on the football and wait for it. And, hey, not a good choice of throwing the football by Kelly. He just threw it deeper and outside for his receiver to have a chance to make that catch.
Stallworth is in at quarterback. Brian Stallworth, as the East has the ball and the lead, takes the handoff. Unleashes the ball into the crowd almost, or into the West bench. Eric Totten was defending. It'll be a second down.
That's pretty good strong arm that time by Brian Stallworth under duress, throwing the ball outside. See him talking to his receiver, say, hey, just keep going on me here because I can throw the football.
Well, he can. 65% of his passes completed this year, 177 out of 272, 30 of them for touchdowns, 2,762 yards. Oh, yes, he also rushed for 625. Quite a threat. This year, in this game, 3 for 6. Second down and 10. In motion is Schoolfield. Might be intended up there, go the other way. And a pass is complete for the first down. Lawan Edwards makes the tackle on Brown, I believe it is. Yep, Brown. That's Pierre Brown from Wayne State.
Pierre Brown does a good job of pushing off on the outside. It's going to be the right. Stallworth is working to the left all the way. But he knows he's got Pierre one-on-one here working, and Pierre comes back to him smartly. And good throw and good grab.
So it's a first down past midfield now at the 43-yard line of the West. East on top, 21-12. Only 2 wideouts in this formation. 1 running back, everyone else bunched in fairly tight. And it is then a running play. Marquise Glaze, but it doesn't help much, even though they didn't have all those wideouts, because they still didn't gain anything. And it's going to be a second down. They're going to give that tackle to Josh Hotchkiss, the linebacker out of Western State. He was an All-American. Several of these guys were AP All-Americans, and others were the
small college All-American.
Small college All-Americans.
Right.
Of course, they're all league, and that's no question. Some of them have an extra definition, depending on where their league is of a district, much like you have in high school. On top of that, Fellowship of Christian Athletes All-American, that one's incomplete. So you're talking about 2 teams full of very highly honored players.
It's kind of a tough play there. You got a timing pass thrown, but your snap is a little high, and it kind of rainbows back to the quarterback, so Stallworth really doesn't have a chance to set his feet and throw the football. The ball's up like that. You want a clean, crisp snap on that as we see the penalty here.
Personal foul face match. Now it's just a question inadvertent for 5. or bad. This one may be bad. Looks like they're going to get way more than 5. They're going to get all 15.
And that's a big penalty there. Moves the sticks and gives them a first down.
Well, that's another one of those mistakes. You throw 15-yard penalties or penalties in general at the wrong time, along with fumbles or turnovers. And that's why you can have the statistical battle in your favor, but lose the war, because the East doesn't have to go that much on offense now. They've got the ball inside the 30-yard line. Penalties are actually even in yardage. Turnovers not quite. Give inside, and that's going to be good for about 5 yards. Glenn with another carry. Glenn has been the #1 running back. He has had the most success in this game out of Slippery Rock.
And these offensive linemen, they're trying to scramble block, do whatever they can to get a hat-on hat here and get some holes for their running back. They don't look pretty out there, but I tell you, they're trying to be effective.
Native of Pennsylvania, played right in the state, communications major, as Glenn will now go to the sideline, and they'll bring in Marcus Glaze from Bloomsburg as the lone running back. Starwood on the pitch. Glaze, nowhere to go. He's tracked down well behind the line of scrimmage. That was Earl Henry or 16, or Hotchkiss. Hotchkiss, I guess, 16, not 18. Let's take a look at it
Watch
again.
Hotchkiss run downhill. Watch him come right in here and make a nice play in the backfield. Just run down, around the corner, stay as tight as you can. That's what linebackers need to do. Don't give up space, and hey, he's happy about his play.
He was one of those AP All-Americans and the American Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a 2-time Player of the Year in his conference. And he played like it there. 3rd down. 9. Field was in motion to the left again. Starwood dropped back. Now he sees the opening. He's at the 20. He's at the 15. He gets just about to the 10-yard line. That's good for a first down. Whether it's first and goal or just outside the 10, we'll find in a moment. But Craig Newhouse made the tackle as Stallworth found room to roam.
Well, this is what you call the parting seas. Stallworth sees everything open up here, and just goes straight ahead right through it. Stallworth is going to run into the house, but good open field tackle here on Stallworth as he runs up there. That's Newhouse coming up. Did a nice job. Submarine tackle.
That's a good shot, too. You could see Newhouse at the top of the screen. He was backing up to cover his area, and then he had to quickly turn the other direction because he saw there wasn't going to be any passes heading that way. Now there's a flag thrown before the play is underway.
We're going to have a participation penalty. 12 players out there at the line of scrimmage on offense.
Well, that brings up an interesting situation, because yesterday we're watching them work out, and the last thing they're doing is they're going through their punt teams and kickoff teams, and they're yelling out punt return, and that's the key. You're supposed to get in there, and they says, well, we did okay on that one. We only had 15 guys out there. But it does
miscues, they happen.
It does take a while.
Yeah, but what happens if you get one guy tired or dinged on the sideline, and you get a whole bunch of mess going on out there. Nobody knows who's going to be in there.
Starwood back to throw. That is caught at the 11-yard line. Yes. And it didn't give a signal, but it looks like it was a complete catch by Humphreys.
Well,
White
Humphreys
was on him.
Yeah, he's going to come right back to the quarterback here. Take a look at it. Gets down, tries to grab the ball. He does. Good catch.
Yeah, he did. Didn't scoop it. He held it up, make sure the officials could see it. But this will be a better shot.
That's a lot of work throwing the ball for a 2-yard gain. Not a whole lot there on that play, but that was a good catch.
You got a 2nd down. Ball is on the 12.
Looks like they could get a first down around the 1-foot-yard line. 1-foot line.
Well, it is. Pass is incomplete. That was actually through the hand somehow. Schoolfield. And now it's going to be 3rd and 12. Let's go down to Jim, find out what they're going to do.
Coach John Perry here at the East. 3rd and 12, Coach. What are we looking for?
Looking for a big play. We're going to drop back, and we're going to throw a flat and a seam out this way. They're playing soft. See if we can get close to the first down.
Flat to the seam, the right side. We'll look for that, Greg.
Yeah, he sounds like a fan. We're looking for a big play. He's got the 3 wideouts, top of the screen, two on the bottom. The running back is the right side. He's looking right side. He's looking for the end zone, and it is caught by Clarence Coleman, and he's in for the touchdown. What an effort by Clarence Coleman. And our coaches are 3 for 3 on these calls. That was the toughest, though. That was from the 12.
Well, that ball should have been knocked down or intercepted. He's thrown it into traffic here. Take a look here, and the ball's outside. The ball gets through, almost intercepted there and tipped. The ball's up in the air. Watch the effort here as he turns back, puts his hand down, and just drives for the end zone, gets it across the end line. Good call. Good score that time by Coleman.
Let's go down to Jim.
Coach, was that a big enough play for you?
That's a big play. A good throw, a bobble, and a catch. But, yeah, we'll take it. That's good.
Right here, you were debating on 1 or 2. Why?
Well, at this point in the game, you got to think way ahead and just to make sure we're giving ourselves down the road the biggest pad we can have.
I got you.
All right, we'll take a break. The kick good. It's 27-12, the East. And we'll be back at the Whataburger Cactus Bowl.
Well, you know if you've come in contact with a power line. Let's just say it can hit you like a bolt of lightning. Never get near a power line with anything. It's a smart idea that could save your life. From AEP, America's energy partner.
Welcome to the best damn sports store, period. Clean up on aisle 6.
So get that out of here.
You ready, Jimmy?
No.
Why pay child support with the Pro Athlete Paternity Test?
Oh, DeMarco Farr. John Sally. John Sally.
Comedy, commentary, highlights, the best damn sports show, period.
Last week on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, the Blue Devils fell from the ranks to be unbeaten in the season's biggest upset. Now Jason Williams and number 2 Duke want to get back on top. But red-hot NC State is ready to play the role of giant killer. ACC Sunday Night Hoops this week on Fox Sports Net. Basketball evolved to its highest state.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Back we are with the East taking now a 27-12, 28-12 lead, I should say, with the extra point on this play.
Stallworth darts it outside, does a nice job of getting it out there over the defenders, and is, hey, a little lucky here, but I tell you, Clarence Coleman just goes extra effort to get it in there.
The extra point was good. Meanwhile, back to live action. There's the kickoff out to about the 28-yard line. Let's go back down to Jim Knox.
Clarence, you're loving this game. Let's see, you got the punt return for a touchdown, then you said, why not? How about a reception for a touchdown? But you stayed with this one.
Yeah, just good concentration, second, third effort. I just like making plays, making things happen.
All right, so far, I'm saying maybe early runner here for the MVP. What do you think?
It's too early to see. The game not over yet.
Sounds good to you, though.
Sounds good. But
there we go, Greg.
All right. I'd say he's the early runner, but he's right. Game's not over. There can be some big heroes that can even overshadow that. Kelly comes in to play quarterback again for the West. They got to do some coming from behind now. The first pass is completed for about 8 yards. Let's take a look at that touchdown that we just saw again a moment ago.
A real impressive throw here by Brian Stallworth, doing a good job. He's going to have the receiver come back and do what I call a Q route to the outside. Quarterback's going to zip it out there on timing. Watch the effort here by Clarence Coleman, number 1, coming all the way back. See how far he comes back to the football. Sure, it is tipped. He's got a little traffic there, but he gets it and into the end zone, more importantly.
And his team now with that 16-point lead. Second down at 2. Bang! Incomplete. Ball fell short. That was a hit. That was Cologne McNeil, and he was hit by Gerald Brown. McNeil and Brown are about the same size, even though you look at them,
well,
it looks large.
When you run quick slants like this and you run inside, you're going to get some of these big hits. And, hey, I credit the receiver there. He comes in there trying to make a play, doesn't shy away from the football. But Gerald Brown does what he needs to when his defensive backs about come up and tag him. Good hit, but it dislodged him from the football.
Idris Price came very close to picking off the deflection, but he couldn't quite get there in time. It's 3rd down and 1. Kelly actually has 2 backs now. Uses the lead one as a blocker, and that should be good enough, I think, in the end trial to get a 1st down.
Yeah, in short yardage situations, less than a yard, they can put the second back in the backfield to do the blast play, which is what they did here to get the 1st down.
Chapman is able to get a little more than a yard. He had 44 touches. Chapman, that was a terribly short run for him. During the season, he averaged 8.7 per carry. My goodness. Give it to him. Just call him 1st down Chapman because he just about getting one every time. Here's Kelly now coming back in after a brief conference with Eddie Vowell, the offensive head coach of the West. Well, Eddie's not used to being on this end of the score because many of these coaches, in fact, almost all these coaches, except one, were here last year and were in the Snow Bowl and the years the game was played up north. A lot of experience in the West, won most of the game. Kelly lobs the ball out and a little bit off. It was actually it was intended for Chapman out of the backfield, and it wasn't quite where he could get to it because there were 2 defenders who were pretty close to it.
You're trying to run a swing route to your tailback, Chapman. Get the linebacker coverage on him. You know it's man coverage. You go ahead and match up the linebacker on him, and TC coming out of the backfield. The ball just doesn't get there. Kelly, a couple of balls now, 1 intercepted earlier, and now this pass.
You see the numbers on Chapman.
Flying Forest High School up in just north of Houston.
What a career he had. Pittsburgh State. There's a quick pass that's completed to McNeil. McNeil cuts inside to the 38-yard line, or just shy of the 38, maybe about the 37 or 6.5. We'll see where they finally spot it. This is going to be very close to a 1st down.
It's going to be real close. They'll probably bring up a 3rd and short situation.
Yeah, it looks like they're about a yard short. That's the way we're eyeballing it anyway. Less than a yard. Here it is again.
You see the quarterback just zip it down there on a quick slant. That goes north and south to get 1st down. He's trying real close to it.
Neal's a Texan. He played college ball at Washburn. He's from Rosenberg, Texas, just a little bit outside of Houston. 3rd and 1. Boy.
Not a whole lot there. That defense stiffened.
Tough. Real tough. James Atkins, you see him in the front of the shot there. He kind of anchored the bottom of it.
He's hard to move. 305-pounder under there. I'm not sure that they got this one.
This one may have to be measured. Let's see.
Well, I don't think there'll be any doubt they'd go for it here on 4th down late in the football game. They're late in the 3rd quarter. They need to get another score on the board down 28-12.
Boy, this is definitely one of those inches deals here. We'll see how it goes as they bring the chains out. Maybe an inch. We'll see. Oh, they missed it by about 6 or 8.
Well, there's no hesitation here on the west sideline. They know they're going to go for it anyway. They've got the big people in there. They're going to line up again with 2 backs in the backfield and say, hey, if we want to win this football game, we got to get a 1st down here. Eddie Vowell's calling the offensive play here and says, hey, this is where what it comes down to. You need to make a play, and this is the situation you need to make it in.
Now they're just about set. They're up. They've got their 2 backs in. Quarterback will keep it, and I don't think so, folks. First initial look is that he didn't go anywhere. And if the spot is correct, he didn't make it.
Well, Idris Price, number 6, real happy about that play coming over on the defensive side of the ball for the East. Hey, that was a shot right over the top, trying to do a quarterback sneak. I don't think he got that. No, he got it now.
I think he had to get past that mark, and he didn't get to that, past the mark. He's right on the mark. We'll take a look at it again.
Well, here's Price on the left side, number 6, who I'm talking about. Does a good job of skating in from the inside. Tell you, there's no line search here. The defensive line is winning. Inside number 55, you see the linebacker Swanger get in there, and also number 6, Idris Price, and see what the measurement looks like.
Well, have to take their word for it.
They're going to have to get a razor blade out there and take a look at this.
Yeah,
they're
down
not
there. Even sure even now.
The East team is saying no, no, no. But I mean, I'm not sure the official can even see this. Oh, that's a first down.
Get the guy.
That's a first down. Well, the East tried to talk him out of the first down, but it was clearly into the post, which is kind of, if they get to the post, it's a first down.
Yeah, you're past the chain. The chain is the measurement. So they just made it.
Yeah, and the fans on this side are a little excited. They must be rooting for the West team.
Well,
I guess we're on the West sideline.
I was going to say, well, all their guys are on the West. The local guys, the Texas A&M Kingsville guys are here. Now, they're still debating that, I think. That, of course, has always been one of the curious things about football, how we get measurements down that close, yet the reality is the precision of spotting the ball on any down is very inexact. It is only very approximate. And yet we get down to a millimeter difference. Now, the referee was speaking on the near sideline, and he's going on the other way.
Well, he was talking to Don Carthel over here. Now he's going over to talk to John Perry. And little situation there. They're having to talk it out.
He talked to the defensive head man here. Let's listen.
Have a six-man front. Coach, excuse me. That's in the rules on that play.
I know.
Okay.
But my official understands the rules. He understands what it is. He said the strong safety did come up and he did go.
On that play.
Yeah, so that's
legal on that play.
But
it's short yardage.
Yeah, I know, but even if you still have a 6, if you have a 6, if he comes up also, that makes it more than 6 and he can't come.
No, he made. We didn't have a six-man front without him.
Anyway, we got a warning. No penalty.
We had a four-man front. We had 4 men on the line.
Just a warning on that, guys, but no penalty.
Well, when you can only put a 4-man down front up there, I know what John Perry's talking about. He wants to be able to bring his secondary up, at least be close to the line of scrimmage, have a chance to stop in short yardage. But maybe the rules are against that defensively.
Incomplete on the first down play.
Swanger had one hit him right in the chops.
Well, that's a tricky thing about all-star games because actually most of our discussions have all had to do with the special all-star rules.
Now watch Swanger here, middle linebacker coming out, and the ball's going to sail there. Kelly delivers, and bingo, right in the face mask. He's breaking out. He says, hey, I got a lot of area to run through here. I could go all the way down, but a lot of linebackers, they have what they call brick hands. I don't know if Brock has them, but they're not. But he didn't have a chance to use his hands.
He's not supposed to because he led the team in tackles and interceptions the last 2 years. Of course, that was deflected. That makes it tough. That pitch is incomplete. That was a little bit too high. So he pitched it a little bit over the receiver. Michael Posey a little upset because he couldn't intercept it.
Damon Tolson defensively for the East does a good job of pressuring Kelly on that play and makes him throw the ball quickly and into traffic. Ball's floating around a bit for Kelly. He doesn't have the command of it. Perhaps the wraps, the defense is catching up to him. Little things are going wrong for him. His numbers not impressive, 6 of 15 for 47 yards.
Yeah, he had a good year though. During the regular season, Lone Star Conference Offensive Back of the Year, but not able to stay on target as much as he would like here. He drops it back. That pass incomplete. Is turning around for it, McNeil, just as the defensive man got to him, and it's going to be a 4th down.
McNeil needs to catch his football. Cologne just lets this one go right through his hands.
There's Posey again. Making the hit.
Pretty good pop there.
It's celebration.
Whenever a defensive player comes up and makes a good hit, they feel, they love it, they like it. That's what they like to do, and Posey comes up and lays a pretty good lick on it.
4th down. This time they'll have to kick it away. The East will get the ball. It's a pretty good punt. Coleman back at about the 5. And he runs out about the 9. If he'd run that one back, we would have voted MVP right there. Now a little bit of a controversy afterwards. We'll take a break before the ball goes put in play. The scoreboard reading 28-12 East.
Since 1853, only the highest quality products and saddles bear the Running W brand. Since the earliest days of ranching, the Saddle Shop has carried premium hunting and outdoor gear for all seasons. They've grown to offer leather products ranging from luggage and business accessories to men's and women's apparel and gifts, as well as home furnishings. King Ranch Saddle Shop is an authorized Double D Ranchwear dealer. Visit King Grant Saddle Shop to find gifts from the little luxuries to unique fashions in historic downtown Kingsville.
Corpus Christi and Padre Island, an anchorage for the soul.
Tonight at 10, it's 30 minutes devoted to the local sports scene on the Southwest Sports Report. At 10:30, stay tuned for the National Sports Report. And at 11, it's brutally honest sports commentary on The Last Word with Jim Rome.
NFL this morning.
We talk football, hardcore football.
You come out and you hit him right in the mouth.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
NFL This Morning, Sundays on Fox Sports Net.
I'm funny.
28-12. The flavor of the fact that Kingsville was actually land that was donated by the famous King Ranch. Ron Harms, who is the guy who's the hardest working guy in town leading into this game.
He's the bowl director here. He's on the committee and doing a good job putting this game on for the second year.
Big inside handoff, Dorian Glenn. Glenn's got some room as he cuts outside and gets almost to the 30-yard line. Glenn's had a good game on the ground, and again, he's about the only player who has. Elton Seals ran him out. Let's take a look at this play again, how it worked.
Well, one of the very few times that Dorian Glenn has been able to show his speed, but he does here to the outside. A little holding perhaps inside there, but Dorian Glenn gets a good corner and outruns the defense, but the secondary comes over nicely and knocks him out of bounds.
Put him right at the 30-yard line, so it's a first down. As the East, after losing some ground just before that break, or during that break, there was a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. That's why the East was moved back as far as they were, but now they're out on the 30, first down and 10. Flags, whistles, no play. Actually, I don't see the flags. I hear the whistles.
Let's go, defense.
Illegal procedure.
I didn't see a flag either, Greg. They just called the penalty, I guess, blowing the whistle.
Here we go.
I guess the officials can do either one.
Yep, stop the play, so run the clock now. It will be first and 15. Back on the 25-yard line. Whataburger Cactus Bowl. Division II All-Stars. 25 players that were in last year's game or in NFL training camps this year. Many of them stuck. Here's Todd Cunningham rolling right. Needing help. Tries to throw underneath. There was nobody there except for defensive backs. Linebacker Josh Hotchkiss took it on a hop. Third down at 15.
Todd Cunningham under duress here. Rolls out to his right, but hey, the defense is coming at him. He's getting rid of this football, and he'll take a pretty good shot here at the end, though. Big boy coming over the top.
Down he went. That was Dean Freakin.
Dane's been back there a couple of times tonight. Had a sack earlier in the game.
Angelo State. Well, he set a school record for Angelo State for sacks in the season. He didn't get one there because the pass was away, but he knows how to put pressure on quarterbacks. Second down. Does the scoreboard know something we don't know, or what? The scoreboard says second and 10, but the chains are set up for 15. So I think it is second and 15. Let's take a look at some of those other NFL players that began in Division II and now are playing on the defensive side. Darrell Green of the Washington Redskins. He's been playing forever and isn't planning on stopping, apparently. He's still intercepting them. How about Kevin Mathis of the New Orleans Saints? Or Ron McKinnon. He made that play. The defenders, they're strong. John Randall, we heard from him earlier, of the Seahawks. And there are the defensive players from NCAA Division II schools, led by Darrell Green and Leon Lett, and schools like A&M Kingsville and Kutztown and Valdosta State.
Big-time players there. Big names, Jesse Tuggle, Lee Woodall, John Randall, John Mobley. Hey, a lot of guys that are in the league. And Leon led among them.
So when you're trying to put together your mock NFL drafts, don't forget the guys from Division II because a number of them are in them. There's a pass out to the near side, and it's intercepted. Picked off and back to the 20-yard line. That's Scott Carlson out of Minnesota State at Mankato, and the West team now has something going.
Well, Scott Carlson has coverage on Dirting coming around outside, and what he does, he just continues with him and covers him from off. What I mean from that, he's deep, and then he sucks underneath. He's going to break underneath, do a good job of going to the football, kicks it off inside and runs it back. Big play by the West here and have a chance to get back in this football game.
Carlson is a defensive back, safety-type defensive back at 6 feet, 208 pounds, but he's also was very good in college with sacks.
Well, 5.5 sacks the last couple of years, and calling Crazy Carl back there. That's a big play.
Rolling out right and running out of bounds is the quarterback, Scott Mitchell, and it'll be...
Now, there's a flag out there, Greg.
But we may not have that. We may either gain something or lose something on it. Talking it over. Preliminary signal is holding on the defense.
Well, that'll be a spot foul.
I know, that's just the rule. It's going to be first and 1.
Referee Reggie Anderson gets it all squared away with the sideline. And he'll make the official pronouncement here in a moment. Meanwhile, conference with Scott Mitchell and Eddie Valley.
Well, they enforce the penalty, which brings up a first down and only a yard to go. It's a spot penalty from the infraction, so pretty good penalty that time. Allows them to have the first down and just need about 1 yard for to continue to move the chains.
Well, minute 45 to go here, and now another whistle. The flag's flying. That's been Cleveland procedure. Let's see. He said false start. It will be 5 yards taken back.
And you go from 1st and 1 to 1st and 6.
Still, it's good, but you want to keep going forward. The West trailing by 16. But we're still in the third quarter, a minute 43 to play. Big hitter up the middle, and it's near the goal line, about the 1 yard line, where it should be 1st and goal. As Kendrick Gibson makes the catch, the Midwestern State veteran. It's a little slant.
Good little slim post this time by Kendrick Gibson on the top of the screen. Works up and comes inside. The ball's thrown down low and inside. The defenders are on top, and all they can do is break down and make the tackle. Joey Flora.
Let's quickly go down to Jim Knox.
Eddie Val, what are we running here? We're going to run the power play. The tailback's going to follow the fullback right in the end zone, we hope.
Yeah, it's the first one that hadn't worked.
Knox, your percentage is going down.
Yeah, three out of 4, I guess. That's not bad. Well, let's see if we can get this one.
Yeah,
Eddie, what are we doing here? We're going to run right high, quarterback sneak. Oh, quarterback sneak. Okay. See if we can get back on track.
All right. Now we've got a timeout or official's timeout, looks like.
Yeah, one of the defensive players from the East is having to come off. So they reset it. There's an equipment problem. He's coming off the field. So they've got another player on there. I'm not going to charge him a timeout for it. Perhaps they are. No, they're not charging him a timeout. It wouldn't get off the field. Another player got on there.
So Scott Mitchell. Ball is on the 1. Quarterback's the man to watch. Off the right side. He struggles forward. And no signal. Doesn't look like he made it. Clarence Lindsey Jr. Now a flag. Something was probably said in there.
A little extracurricular activity on the bottom there, Greg. They're trying to pull the ball out, the defense is, and I think they almost smacked the quarterback right in the gut. Scott Mitchell down there on the ground. He's trying to get his first down, get into the end zone.
And we're going to talk it over. Who did what? Who's responsible? Let's take a look at it.
Take a look here. Watch Mitchell. He goes to the right side and goes down there. And watch the activity afterward. The defense is coming in there and trying to pull the ball out. And oh, there's the knee. Oh, it's the quarterback.
Might have been the QB.
It's the quarterback, yeah.
That little kick.
A little frustration there. He's not in the end zone. And
hey, quarterbacks don't ever get penalized like that, but he did. Scott Mitchell's going to be called for one of a better word, an illegal kick.
Well, you're knocking on the door, and that's a self-destruct penalty right there. And now it brings up a third down, and you're outside your 15-yard line. A lot more difficult to get in the end zone here, but in this situation in the game, Greg, you got to think that you're using 2 plays to score.
Knox again, Jim Knox.
We are 3rd and 16. What are we looking for? I'm going to run some stage routes right here. Just see if we can get in the end zone. Let it go. Let's go out. See what happens.
Mitchell's back to throw. He's got pressure. He gets away from the pressure. He's got some room to look. He goes up the middle. It's deflected and incomplete. Good late-minute coverage because he saw Eric Spencer, but that gap closed. That was Nate Coggins who closed that gap. Knocked that ball away.
Scott Mitchell just rolling to the outside, trying to throw it along the back of the end line to Spencer, who's working from the left side of the field all the way across, and just nothing there. The defense took away everything and brings up a 4th down, so they're going to bring on Paterka to try the field goal here.
He doesn't miss many. He's had 2 over 59 this year and 10 that he's had over 50 in his career.
And he was laser solid in the first half, kicking a field goal.
About a 33-yarder, right? And it's blocked. It's blocked.
This can be advanced by either team.
Yeah, but it didn't go far. It goes backwards. And that really turns out to be a killer, perhaps, for the West, as the East just totally dominated with the ball on the 1-yard line.
Now the quarter comes to an end here, and it's going to end pretty poorly for the West team, attempting to try a field goal. It's blocked, and going to go into the 4th quarter on defense.
28-12 after 3, the East on top.
It's time you expected more from an insurance company. So call Progressive Auto Insurance, and we can give you our low price and the rates for up to 3 leading competitors. And that could save you hundreds.
We want you to save money, even if it's not with us.
Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE now or visit Progressive.com. Compare rates and buy a policy instantly. We want you to save money, even if it's not with us. You could start saving now. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Not what you'd expect from an insurance company.
This year's resolution? To stay in touch with the compact Presario 5000 TPC. It comes with a powerful Intel Pentium 4 processor, a free scanner, and a whopping 512 megabytes of memory. More than enough to scan in all your photos and share them with everyone you'd like. It's just $8.99. So get started on that resolution not to procrastinate. Hurry and call 1-800-332-1878 to get yours now.
He's really like my brother. I look up to him.
It's great to see him working toward his future.
He made a smart decision.
ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future. To find out more, call 1-800-ITT-TECH or visit us on the web. Now you can take advantage of our 3-day-a-week programs, a more flexible schedule to reach your goals. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH today.
Back we are in the shadow of the Naval Air Station here, just outside Kingsville. Greg Lucas here, along with Gary Reasons and Jim Knox. The East-West All-Star Game Division II. It's the Cactus Bowl, brought to you by Whataburger. The Whataburger Cactus Bowl, 2nd game in the series that they hope to be a regular feature, not only here in Kingsville, but right here on Fox Sports Net. On the first down play, give off to Marcus Glaze, and Glaze struggles forward across the 35 to about the 38. Pickup of 5 or 6 yards. Let's see how they spot it. We'll call it about that, and it will be 2nd down.
The East, they'd like to just run the football now. The end of the fourth quarter, got a 28-12 lead here. Going in, run the football, run the clock. Go ahead and hand it off to your running back. Let him do some of the work here. Take some pressure off the quarterback. You don't want to throw an interception here and give the West a chance to get right back into this football game.
Now the clock is in the East's favor now, certainly, with the fourth quarter just underway. And the lead. And again, the handoff. And big running room for Dew as Dew cuts outside, and he may have enough for the first down. Amir Dew, brought down by Dane Krager. Dew from Indiana, Pennsylvania. And it is a first down.
Good vision that time by Dew. Everything was stopped to his left where he was intending to go, and came back to the right side. Saw some daylight there. You see the numbers that Dew's put up on the day.
Amir is 5'10", 197-pound communications major. And now it's a first and 10. Ball on the 44. East 44, East ball. There's a fake inside handoff. Stallworth rolling. Now he's back to throw. Up the middle, bobbled, picked off and caught. What an effort of staying with the football by John Sipot.
Big John's a tight end, 6'8", 270. Talk about whether he could run and catch. Well, he certainly shows that he can there. Good job working down the field and coming across and play action pass, and the quarterback comes down to his big tight end. We got a target like this who can get down there and stay with the football. Hey, go up and grab it.
He did stay with Eric Totten, finally brought him down. Sipot from New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Catches it twice. Yeah, it goes through his hands one time and brings it down.
Long Island University CW Post, criminal justice major, and now we've got
multiple receiver downfield. It's going to bring up a first down again. Yeah. The ball came out pretty quick. It's hard to believe that he'd have an eligible receiver downfield.
Well, Sipot on that shot there was acting like maybe it was him.
No, he's a tight end.
Well,
unless he was covered. He may have been covered by a lineman, which would have made him an eligible receiver.
In any event, it will be first and 15. So forget that last play. It's spectacular for us. It's the change of direction by Glaze, and Glaze shows he can do that. And then he bangs down across midfield. He just took out Lawan Edwards and actually his own teammate Pierre Brown at the same time. It's a first. Well, no, not quite. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be second down and 1.
Well, what he does here, he just runs inside. You got your tight end over here blocking down, and he's going to cut back across the grain, do a good job with it. We got this play a little bit out of sequence, but it's a pretty good throw on the outside, and that's the interception we saw earlier for the West.
Well, it was spectacular. Second down and 1. And again, chances are pretty good. They're going to stay on the ground if they can to help that clock tick. That they do. There's Amir Dew. And he's got the first down by a smidgen. Finally pushed back, but it appeared that he got across. Yeah, it looks like the linesman on this side says he made it to the 45-yard line. If that's the case, that is enough. And it is enough. It's a first down.
Lead the change. Stallworth here directing things out there. Get his offensive lineman. A little different for these guys because they've been asked to pass block quite a bit tonight. Now they have to run blocks to run the clock out.
Remember, this is the 9th game in this series, and the East has only won 1. There was one time, and that was in 1996 when the East won by 10-7. What an incongruent score for the type of football we generally would expect in an all-star game like this. Stallworth back to pass. It's Coleman. Coleman to the 5. Touchdown! 45-yard pass play, and Coleman has his 3rd touchdown. I think you can give him the MVP now.
Dan Coleman on the outside. Quarterback's just going to lay it out there for him. Coleman not clocked at great speed, about a 4.5 in the 40, but he's got competitive speed, that's for sure. He gets to the outside, gets behind Elton Seals, number 10. Hey, and that's a score for the East, and hey, this one's pretty well in hand for him. And that's a nice throw. It's a good throw by the quarterback. Brian Stallworth throwing it out there right where he needed to. Little throw and catch action. See some of these helmets these guys have all the decals on them. They trade decals. That's what an all-star game is about. They make new friends, and they have a lot of different decals on their helmets when they go home.
Cerniak with the extra point. And so with the 7 more points tacked on, that makes it 35-12 in favor of the East. And here's the play again. Stalwart to that man, Clarence Coleman.
We have 11 kids. Their names are Jacob, Jeremy, Joshua, Joel, Jesse, Jonathan, Jordan, Justin, Jared, Jamie, Julianne. Is that 11? When we have so many places to be, it's nice to be able to just drive into Whataburger and have everybody get what they want. They're all happy, and it always comes the way they like it. At 6 years old, they can handle a single. 13, they really need a double. 15, they've got to have a triple.
At Whataburger, choose any of our hot, fresh, and made-to-order burgers, sure to satisfy any appetite. Whataburger, just like you like it.
Struggling with what you're going to do the rest of your life? Texas A&M University Kingsville can help with more than 100 undergraduate and graduate degrees. We'll help you find a career you'll love. Texas A&M University Kingsville. Smart choice.
Proud supporters of the Cactus Bowl.
Clarence Coleman, you might want to remember him. He certainly made a name for himself in this game so far with 3 touchdowns, 2 receiving, 1 on a punt return. Tonight's game summary brought to you by the Kingsville Convention and Visitors Bureau. You can all sum it up maybe in Clarence Coleman. And that's
a decal souvenir helmet right there. Look at all the different schools represented on there. These young men meet each other and they make long-lasting friends here, and those decals are something they bring home, and they'll keep those for the rest of their lives.
This is Jarris Evans on the return. He got maybe the 20 before he was bowled back over. Now, we told you about that Kingsville Chamber of Commerce Convention and Visitors Bureau game summary. Here it is. For the East, Glenn has been the top runner, 49 yards, couple of touchdowns. Coleman, for the East, has only returned a punt, 42 for a TD, a 12 and a 45-yard TD catch. Total yards, the East now has the advantage, which they did not have at the half. But the turnovers, still the West with more. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
Hey, already, look at this, Greg. Clarence Coleman signing a few autographs, making it look easy. A simple go route, you just flew right by him.
Yeah.
Surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. A lot of talk is that I'm not fast enough. I just proved it right there.
I'm going to give you the MVP. Why don't we just get that over with?
I don't know.
Still plenty of time?
I still got time for one more.
Okay, we'll check back with you in a little bit, Greg.
Okay, very good. He gets on again. He's on more than Gary.
I tell you, he's Clarence Coleman's a criminal justice major. He's a nice young man. He wants to work as a human resource officer and good goals. And I'll tell you, he may have some more football ahead of him.
He'll have to wait 10 years. There's a pass that's completed for a first down. That was Stephon Kelly making the tackle on Matt Holman.
So Holman with the second grab of the night here. Kelly just trying to get something going here for Scott Mitchell, rather, throwing the football, trying to get something working for the West offense. Got a little time to work here, and they've got to put some points up on the board.
Underthrew that one. Intended for Cologne McNeil. Flora was close. I haven't mentioned Joey Flora much in this game, but East defense has done very well as they've held the opposition to just 12. Actually, they've 10 if you really want to get down to it, because a field goal and a touchdown, the other 2 points on a safety. Again, Scott Mitchell. He's got a safety valve, but he wants to go farther down the field, and that ball is intercepted. Keon Nash, the 6'3", 210-pounder from Albany State, is cut in front of the intended receiver, and East is on the way again.
He had 12 career interceptions. That's a good one for the postseason there. Watch him. He's going to break down underneath, get his hands up. He gets in front. The receiver is running behind. Good job that time by Nash coming through there. We've seen him hit, we've seen him tackle tonight, and now we see him with the interception.
Jarris Evans was the intended receiver, but Nash got the ball. I think he literally has the ball, but he finally has to give it up. He wanted the ball. They only have so many. He had to give it up. First down on the 47-yard line now for the East. They're only 3 yards away from West territory. And on the first play from scrimmage, it looks as though they got there. That was Glaze on the carry. And he got just to midfield, so it'll be a second down, 8. Prager with the tackle.
And we get more of the same here. The East wants to run the football. The West defense now needs to come up with a play. A little disheartening, though, when your offense goes out there and they miscue and they throw an interception. The defense says, hey, you know, we've done our job once. We need to get back out, go out there and do it again for you guys. It's just tough to get on track here for them.
Cunningham, after a fairly long count. Down the middle, it is incomplete. The intended receiver was Brown. Tried to sneak it between a couple of defenders and couldn't hit the target. Juwan Edwards was one of them that was closing the gap, and it'll be third down and 8.
Number 14, Anthony Donald. We haven't talked about him tonight, but he was back there at the free safety position. He's a free safety who's 6'4", 225 pounds. So you don't see many of them like that. And if he can cover the ball.
Six-pack there.
He's a well-constructed young man, no doubt about that.
Third down and 8. That ball is not close. They really boxed off Coleman that time, and he couldn't get around the defense.
Well, they're tired of Coleman making plays. They just got in his way and made him trip there and throw the ball deep and outside. No one who was going to have a chance to catch that would have been Coleman if he was able to win the corner and get around, but the defense just kind of shut him down.
So the East will punt. They haven't had to do that much tonight. Adam Hostetter will do it. The West has a single return man. And the clock says 10:26 to go in this 35-12 game. Here's the punt. Tyree Kellogg had a slight opening for a moment up the middle, but it was brought down at about the 18-yard line. That's where the West will put the ball in play on their own 18. And we've got a break in the action. We're in the fourth quarter, and it's been all East, 35-12 at the Whataburger Cactus Bowl.
Welcome to the best damn sports store, period. Clean up on aisle 6.
So get that out of here.
You ready, Jimmy?
No.
Why pay child support with the Pro Athlete Paternity Test?
Oh, DeMarco Farr. John Sally. John Sally.
Comedy, commentary, highlights, the best damn sports show, period.
The last word.
Oh, no. Here we go again. Electrifying, gravity-defying, mesmerizing. Oh, wait, there's more. Things are heating up. A lot of smack, a lot of controversy. Here we go. Welcome to the jungle. I am all over this. I am all over that.
The last word. Reinventing sports talk as you know it. Tonight on Fox Sports Net.
Last week on ACC Sunday Night Hoops, the Blue Devils fell from the ranks to be unbeaten in the season's biggest upset. Now Jason Williams and number 2 Duke want to get back on top. But red-hot NC State is ready to play the role of giant killer. ACC Sunday Night Hoops this week on Fox Sports Net. Basketball evolved to its highest state.
It's Mitchell. Fourth quarter, 1st and 10, as the West takes over. Mitchell, the quarterback, on the give to Chapman. Chapman making a good run across the first down yardage and a lot more as he got out to about the 35-yard line. Stephon Kelly finally ran him down. Well, you expect that from Chapman. Anybody who rushed for 8.7 yards per carry, that was just another carry for him. He got about 15 yards on it, and it's going to be first down. Recreation major out of Pittsburgh State, Mr. Chapman, and now we've got the offense up to the line of scrimmage. The wideouts aren't so wide on the top of the screen, and the quarterback goes down. He trips perhaps over the center. That's usually what happens. If he's pulled out, quite often it's because the center pulls back.
He's going to step back and step on his foot. Probably what happens. And the right guard's actually going to do it.
One of those two got him, and these guys can laugh because it's an all-star game. In a regular game, they wouldn't be happy with a 35-12. Well, they're not happy with it because you always want to win. But it's not life or death.
I think for most of these guys, though, Greg, it's just performance. They want to make sure that they have an opportunity to perform out there. And they know that scouts are going to look at this tape and look at the production that they've had on each and every play. And their goal is to go out there and not quit and just compete. You're going to line up against the guy across from you. You need to beat him on every single play. Now, it may not work for the entire team, but you may win your aspect of that job. And that's what these guys, each of them, have to stay focused on for the entire 60 minutes.
Last play looked like a miscommunication somewhat between the intended receiver and the quarterback, Eric Spencer, the receiver, and Mitchell, because he was still going downfield, didn't have a chance to cut back to get the ball before the ball got there. Two wideouts, both sides now. Mitchell's going to look this side again, and there's nobody there except a white shirt, and there's an interception. That's Gerald Brown. Gerald Brown with the interception, and that turns things over. Well, Gerald Brown, who likes to be called, in fact, he told me this in the clubhouse. I was going in, checking on pronunciations of players, and he said, I didn't ask him anything because his name's Gerald Brown. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he said, I'm the blanket. So the blanket just picked one off.
He's trying to get it to Gibson here. The ball's thrown inside, and Gerald Brown just goes up and gets it, and he is the blanket on that play. Covered him like a blanket.
There he is out of Glenville, West Virginia State, 5'11", 185-pounder. And it'll be a first down. The ball is at the 46-yard line. 9 minutes and 18 seconds to play. East with the ball and the lead. 35-12. Handoff goes to Dorian Glenn. And he slips his way across to about the 42-yard line. Pickup of maybe 4 or 5. Second down.
Well, I think these guys, all the gas is out of their tanks, and they're playing on fumes, both teams. The West team seems to be a little more disheartened, especially on offense. They haven't had anything go their way here really all night, Greg. They haven't been able to get any consistency offensively. And defensively, they've made some plays and slowed the East down a little bit, but every time they've had to go back out there pretty quickly.
So those numbers for Glenn, he's actually had a very good game, considering that there are 3 running backs, and they all alternate, and running is not really the primary focus. There's another running back, Amir Dew, and that's a pretty good carry as he gets across the 40 down to about the 36.
Yeah, close to a first down.
I think maybe when now looks like it's going to be just a tad short.
There's the offensive lineman here working, trying to get a hole for Dew inside. He's shows his quickness and his nifty feet.
That was O'Neal finally stopped him about a yard short. Well, no, they're going to say he made it.
First down, move the sticks.
Oh, yeah, they did move the ball on the other side of the line. Originally, it looked like they had spotted it about 18 inches the other way. It is a first down now for the East as they continue to drive inside West territory. Last year's game had an interesting finish, more ways than one. Here's the play. It'll tell you what we're talking about. Again, the handoff. Again, that is Glaze. Glaze fights his way forward to near the 30-yard line. Last year's game was 33-33. It was a tie. It wasn't supposed to be. Apparently, the coaches figured they were playing NCAA rules, which includes tiebreakers. And, in fact, this series had an overtime game just 3 years before in 1998. But the word didn't get down to the officials. And when the time expired at 33-33, they left.
The officials want to go home. The game's over. Bottom line, they were out there a long time, and they said, hey, it's over, we're leaving. So game, set, match, and then we were done.
It will not happen this year, well, because of the score, but it wouldn't have anyway. They would have played the overtime had it been necessary. There's a give outside, and that's Dorian Glenn, and Glenn adds a few more yards to his total, and another first down, it appears. Eric Totten runs him out of bounds as he gets to about the 25-yard line.
Dorian Glenn, I think, has got another gear. When he gets around the corner, it seems like he just improved his speed. Watch him here as he moves around to the corner to the right side. That runs the whole corner of the defense and gets out there and shows that he's got a little burst. He'll be dragged down from the backside.
Gets him up over 60-some yards in this with 10 carries. That's a 6+ average. Wasn't a guy named Clarence Coleman in this game. He might draw some nice. I think they still get some MVP votes. It's really hard to beat Coleman. It's going to be a first down. The ball on the 25-yard line. Glaze just alternating him, and Glaze gets across to about the 23-yard line. Short gain of 2 or 3 yards. It'll be second down. Hotchkiss, the big linebacker, one of the first to hit him. I gave that.
Well, I credit these coaches. That's John Perry talking to him, and
I gave that to Glaze. That was actually Dew again, number 42, not 12.
These coaches very selfless. They come down here and work this game and work this week. It's pretty hard on those guys. The NFL scouts are down here wanting these guys to work hard, and they put them through 2-a-days early in the week. And hey, the coach has got to be out there too. If we got another flag from the official.
There's nothing to do with the time expiring. He still had 12 seconds to get the play off, but
substitution penalty against the offense.
Second down. Dorian Glenn has had a big game. He's had a couple of touchdowns, and he's rushed for over 60 yards, and here's some of his work of late.
Well, early in the football game, gets the first score after a turnover. Now his second score in the second quarter. Dorian Glenn puts a couple points on the board, a couple scores on the board. And I'll show you this burst here, the speed that he has to the outside. Give him a chance to run, and Dorian Glenn has shown that he can do that.
Plays out of the backfield as a receiver. The quarterback's going to try to... Whoa, no, he won't. As he is strangled by Dane Krager. Dane Krager came around from behind and said, "Ugh, down you go, buddy." And that's the guy with the school sack record at Angelo State. And while that was a running play, same principle as we said before, he got it behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, it wasn't a running play, actually, Greg. It was just a play-action play, and Krager just continued to the quarterback. And
then he'll get sacked.
It's his second sack of the game, and had a hurry earlier. Krager showing that, hey, I can get there. He's not real big, 6'3", 235, and he plays defensive end, but more than likely, if he was to play at another level, it'd be an outside linebacker, an inside linebacker even.
Third down, right around 15. Oh, 14. Coleman's the receiver, and he makes the catch in play inside the 5-yard line. Parents, he's going to have to be tired.
Well, he must like Ryan Stallworth. They must have hit it off. No, this is actually Todd Cunningham throwing the football now. Same thing here to the outside, and good pace that time. Coleman says, hey, I know where I'm at. Got to get a foot in here. All he needed in college is one. He's got him in there.
Oh,
nice little tippy toe action.
He did the pro style, though. You notice he got them both in. Yeah, he's showing off the scouts.
He's had a monster game. Look at the numbers.
103 yards receiving on just 4.
And plus, he's got the punt return for a touchdown as well. So
it's
he's had a
145 total yards. Yeah. That is a great night. And now it's first and goal. Ball is on the 2, and timeout has been whistled.
Yeah, the East calls a timeout here. The play clock was running down, so Cunningham decided to go ahead and burn a timeout.
Tonight's Whataburger Cactus Bowl on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by AEP, American Electric Power. By the Kingsville Convention and Visitors Bureau on the web at kingsvilletexas.com. By Coca-Cola. Kick your party up a notch with refreshing ice-down Coca-Cola. And by the Corpus Christi Chamber of Commerce and Convention and Visitors Bureau, premier Texas Gulf Coast destination. Well, here's the guy that we're naming our Whataburger most valuable player, Clarence Coleman. A punt return touchdown, 2 TD catches. We have him unofficially for 145 total yards, including 103 on 4 receptions. Clarence Coleman, the 5'11", 185-pounder from Ferris State, resident of Miami, Florida, is our Whataburger most valuable player for this game. And he certainly has deserved it. It wasn't really a tough call, even though there's some other guys that are coming up late here I'm getting some stats. Here it is, 1st and goal. The pitch goes to Dew, and he's in. Amir Dew with the touchdown from 2. And 7 more go on the board.
Well, it's just rolling here for the East now. They're doing a good job up front. And now the speed here, the running game takes off. I think the defense for the West is tired. They're just flat tired out there. They've had some big plays go against them. They've had to go out there time and time again. Whenever your offense turns over the football, you're back out there.
It is 41. If the all-time record for points scored in this series is 43 by the West in 1997, when they beat the East 43-3. So this is by far the most points that the East has ever scored. In fact, the most they had ever scored was last year's 33 in that tie. There's Coleman signing more autographs. All these guys are figuring, this guy's doing pretty good. He may become something. I may want this. I may want to save this one.
Could be a smart and valuable autograph.
That's right. And another flag. This was at the line of scrimmage.
That'll be a delay of game